Amazing experience for him. And I was talking to him about it yesterday. Who was the youngest ever national player for Indonesia 5 years ago. Well, Indonesia lead 15-0, the resumption of the second half. Just working their way through midfield. Nice little ball to Nuguro. He's look outside him if he's got someone to pass it to. He does. He finds Musi. Funneled into touch by Adel Al-Hindi.
I must say their ball retention has been very good in these facets of play. I mean, it has to be to get 15 points up, but yeah, the confidence is growing. They were throwing 50-50 passes, which is going to no one, or if not the opposition, in day one. So I think they've had a bit of a look at themselves and realised they can actually play some good footy.
Yep, and it's great. Thing about the Asian 7 series, Dino, is that you've got 11th and 12th placing here, and you've got two evenly matched teams.
Absolutely, and this is the key thing about it. It's not going to be disheartening where you're going to be losing by 40-50 points against the top tiers.
Again, Indonesia working it up in midfield right in front of the UAE post, as you can see. Abdullah coming up for the UAE. Good work. It steps off his right foot. Mark Thompson. Daniel Sivis assisting, but it's an inside ball there off the step of the foot. And Johans Musi gets another Indonesian try.
Good work to Johan, and bit of a nippy little scrum half, old Ari there, and probably the most smallest player in the tournament, I must say, but he's a bit of a live wire.
Well, he would have been the norm 10-15 years ago in Asian rugby, and we remember Thailand always used to knock off one of the big guys in Hong Kong Sevens.
Yes, absolutely.
The Speed Merchants.
And the kick is unsuccessful. So, I mean, for all these teams, it's going to be their last match of the Asian 7 series, if not the tournament itself. But a lot of positives these groups can walk away for the whole Asian 7 series. As you can see here, Johans Musi here just wiggling in outside of the tackle and scoring a great 5-pointer, which you'll remember for the rest of the time.
Well, UAE couldn't handle off the kickoff, and those sort of mistakes you can't afford in sevens. You've got to catch that ball, but good pressure from Indonesia. You can see there, they lead 22-0, second half. And Daniel Nuguro coming off, and well-deserved break.
Well, you're right, Sambo. It's you can't say that the UAE haven't had their fair share of ball. It's just they just haven't utilised it as well as the Indonesian side.
So, set move perhaps from Indonesia. 40 metres out, UAE line. Piggledy ball comes out to Scott Atkinson. Through the hands. Winger can't handle it. Unfortunate. Again, Sahid, the UAE going across in cover defence. And Alton Anar in there. So you can see the level of play, not to be disrespectful in any way, Dino, but the gap between the top teams and the bottom teams. The skill level, of course, but these guys barely get together for a couple of sessions before they fly out.
Oh, absolutely. And there's a huge geographic distance between, if not city, town and state. So, you know, the skill, the amount of time that you don't have with them and the amount of time you need to prepare them for such a tournament. And as Gareth from Indonesia indicated, it was his longest preparation time it's had, which was about a week. So that's an added bonus for them. So if they can do a little bit more of that and a little bit more of that, they can eradicate just the small, simple things and be hopefully eventually one of the powerhouses. And that could be in the lower tier or the middle tier. But they'll be consistently become better.
Yes, it's some big challenges in Indonesia. Not so UAE, very localised, but the Emiratis, it's great to see their national team being fully represented. And players like Sahud here on the right side, big fellow, The front row there, you can see his knee strapped, number 10.
Here we got Adele feeding the ball in for the UAE. He's been quite nippy around the base of the scrum and ruck, so the feed not straight. So Ari from Indonesia taps and goes, and just a simple draw pass. And fantastic to see Indonesia. Somehow they've sort of woken up with the light on this morning. Somehow they just everything they're doing is just very clinical and textbook rugby.
Well, you mention it, Ari. He's a little slippery customer, and he saw the space. He saw the opportunity down the right-hand side, the short side, and Scott Atkinson was waiting there. There he is. And of course, correct me if I'm wrong, but the qualification is they have to be either born in Indonesia or at least one parent of Indonesian descent to qualify for the national team.
Yep, absolutely. And also with the tournament under the IRB ruling, a 3-year eligibility as a resident. So, and there we go, they're scoring that try into the corner, and I'm sure after tonight's after-match function, from 20 metres to about 45 it will be. So kick hasn't gone 10 metres from Indonesia. Disappointing for them. These are the key things you mentioned, Sambo. It's the 1%ers. You've got to be very critical on yourself, and you can't give possession away. But here we go. UAE has possession at the halfway mark with the tap, and let's see what they can do. It's probably one of the very rare moments that they have possession in hand. Cyrus, great dummy through, one of the most experienced players in the side. Great offload, and see if he goes all the way. Brilliant rugby, and this is the key thing, I suppose, Sambo, when you score in those tries like Indonesia did in the far right-hand corner. Absolutely.
Yeah, great backup by Suhail, number 4 there in screen. He made the break, Youssef, I think it was, the captain, wasn't it?
Yep, Cyrus made the little dab inside outside and then passed it on into Suhail. So, and once again, Sambo, is Indonesia made that mistake straight after the try, kicked it and go 10 metres and straight and given possession away. So you can't afford to do that. So
I remember one of my coaches saying, Dino, let's control the things that we can control on the field, and one of them is make sure your kicks go out and your kickoffs get 10 metres.
Yep, and that is just the simple things in life anyway. That's rugby. So, and the final whistle has gone with Indonesia comfortable winners. We must say comfortable winners over the UAE, 27 points to 0. And just a great little bit of rugby, and we're leading up until the playoffs here at Singapore at the last leg of the Asia